What is going on, guys? Welcome to Greggles TV. This is going to be my review of the Galaxy S21 Ultra. I'm doing this as I walk because so many people are just like, and I do it too. I just stand in front of a desk and I talk about the phone, and that's pretty much it. I thought I'd just walk around. It's beautiful in San Diego, so why not take advantage of this beautiful weather and talk about the phone? And just to let you know, if you're new to my channel, I'm gonna put this phone down, I need to keep holding it up. If you're new to my channel, I recently had to switch over to the Galaxy S21 Ultra because I broke my Galaxy Z Fold 2, which I absolutely love. I'll be honest straight up, the Z Fold 2 is still my favorite phone. It's a fantastic phone, it works great. I love that huge display. Now, having to switch over to this phone gave it like my 100%, it's the main phone I've been using for since it came out pretty much. Was it been a month or two at this point? I've really gotten into it in terms of like how I feel about it and what I miss about, that Galaxy Z Fold 2. So let's talk about the stuff that I feel like, for me personally, is a little bit of a turnoff. First of all, the screen. The screen is definitely big enough for basically anybody. It's a 6.9 inch display. It's huge. And that for most people is perfect. So you don't have to worry about seeing anything on the screen. Now everything looks pretty big. But when you're coming from a Z Fold 2, it's really difficult to get into it again, like these candy bar phones, just because they do seem so much smaller. So for me, it was a little bit, and it still is, a difficult thing to get back into really falling in love with a candy bar phone. I'll be honest with you, I don't. But at the same time, for most people, it's going to be absolutely beautiful. The screen is beautiful. It's super bright. It's very clear. 120 hertz, 2K plus resolution, works fantastic. So in terms of the display, A+. But for me, a little bit too small, and that's a bit of a turnoff for me. So like looking at websites and zooming into photos and social media and reading things, I like it better on the Z Fold 2. Some other key features that Samsung hasn't really upgraded and even downgraded in some cases is charging. Wired charging is stuck at 25 watts. At this point in time, you have, some of these other companies like OnePlus and Xiaomi and all these other companies that are really pushing the envelope with wireless charging. You get 50 watt wireless charging on a OnePlus phone. You can get wired charging over 65 watts on all these, a bunch of other phones as well. And Samsung's stuck at 25 watts. And I believe it's 15 watts on the wireless side. It's slow at this point, especially compared to those other phones. I can wirelessly charge my OnePlus 9 Pro in like 45 minutes, 0 to 100 wirelessly. I can't even do that on this Galaxy S21 Ultra. So it's a bit of a turnoff that they haven't upgraded the charging. Wirelessly or wired, they really need to push the envelope with that, I feel like. But at the same time, battery life is good. So I'll switch over to that because battery life on the Galaxy S21 Ultra gives me basically a full day. And by a full day, I mean wake up at 6 a.m., I've got to charge it from at about, and I'm on my phone a lot because I'm a stay-at-home dad. So I have to charge it like it'll completely die. I'd say between 3 and 6 p.m. depending upon how much I used it or so. So I personally get all-day battery life, and I consider that all-day battery life because I'm literally staring at my phone the whole time for the most part, or on it, or checking it every so often. So battery life for me has been really, really good. Definitely one of the better battery lives on a Samsung phone. Another thing is they removed the micro SD card expansion slot on the Galaxy S21 series of phones. None of them have it. Not a big deal for me, but for others, it's probably going to be a big deal, especially people that don't want to spend the extra money to have to get more storage. For me, again, completely fine. The storage amounts that they do allow you to buy, 128, 256, or 512, is great. I think 256 is the sweet spot. That's the one I would personally go with, and that's the one I personally do have. In terms of the software, great. One UI 3.1, they just keep making it. For me, it does seem a little tad slower, like the animations seem a little bit slower than previous iterations of One UI, but it's still feature-filled, packed. You can download Good Lock to really customize your phone. You can go in there and control basically every bit and piece of the phone. It's a very clean and easy experience to get around. It's very fluid. It's fast. So the software overall, just the one they put on here, is great. You now have the Google feed now on the home screen if you want it. You can also switch over to Samsung's Free, which also allows you to listen to podcasts and read news. So it's really a feature-filled, easy to use software experience, and it just continually gets better and better, and it's without a doubt for me my favorite software experience on any phone. Next up, the camera. Very happy with the cameras. They've now stabilized 4K 60 on the phone, so if you like to shoot in 4K 60 video, it's now stabilized, and the video and photos do come out really nice. To break it down though, for me anyway, and what I've seen and used, I personally like the video better on the iPhone 12 Pro Max, especially in 4K 60. I don't know, it just, to me, it looks a little bit better. And when I mean that, I don't mean like drastically better, I mean like just a little bit better. Pictures, I do love the pictures that I can capture with Samsung. I love the software that they have built into the phone with capturing their the one take, so it captures video and multiple photos. I love using that, especially with having a kid, to be able to capture easy photos of him. I like that, and then it kind of stylizes them. I love the fact that you can do slow motion and do any hyperlapse and pro video and pro photo. So there's all kinds of different features built into the camera. The photos come out really nice. So I don't really have that many complaints about the photo or video experience. Another thing I love about this phone is the fingerprint sensor. It is so much better, faster, accurate than it was in any other phone. So if you hated the fingerprint sensor on any of the previous on-screen Galaxy phones, you're going to love it on this one. It's just so much more accurate. You don't have to press as hard. It's amazing. So I love the fingerprint sensor on here. It works fantastic.
I'm a mess. Don't know how I got here, but I'm blessed. I'm blessed. Didn't know it'd take me past my destiny. You're behind me with the rest.
In terms of performance, you can't go wrong. It's a speed demon. It's got this, at least in America, you get the Snapdragon 888, 12 gigabytes of RAM. On the international side, you end up getting the Exynos 2100, which I don't see many of my viewers complaining about it all that much. So I'm assuming that the Exynos runs pretty well for them. But for the Snapdragon 888 and the 12 gigs of RAM that I have and the 256 gigabytes of storage, it's plenty enough to perform at anything that I want to do. And I'm not a big gamer on my phone, but I know it can handle that stuff. It runs through opening apps and making the apps feel smooth, and that 120 hertz display, and starting up the phone, and anything I do on the phone just comes out great in terms of performance. So again, I'd have to give the performance on the Galaxy S21 Ultra an A+. So with all of that said, I mean, you can kind of see where I'm going with this. What do I think about the Galaxy S21 Ultra? I think it is one of the best, if not the best, phones that you can buy. The things that I'm griping about aren't things that should make you not want to buy the phone. And what I mean by that is, like, sure, it doesn't have the fastest charging, but 25 watt charging and 15 watt wireless charging are plenty fast enough. You still can charge it pretty darn fast. Not having an SD card, well, you can buy more storage, and it's not that much more expensive, especially when you factor in if you have to buy an SD card anyway on the previous generations of the phone. the display doesn't fold. Okay, a lot of people don't want folding displays because of it breaking, or because they just don't want a display that big. So with that kind of stuff done, you're getting a beautiful phone with a great camera, with an overall great experience and software, and just usage on a day-to-day basis. And you can game with it if you want to play anything you want and do whatever you want. And the display is beautiful and large. I wholeheartedly recommend the Galaxy S21 Ultra. It is a fantastic phone that offers a fantastic experience. But at the same time, for me, as a user and lover, I should say, of foldable phones, I don't think I could ever and will ever go back to a traditional candy bar phone as my main phone on a long-term basis, because once my Galaxy Z Fold 2 is fixed, I will be going back to that phone because of how large and amazing that display is. So overall, you're gonna get a great phone, but just my opinion and experience. Let me know about you guys, about the Galaxy S21 Ultra. Do you love it? Do you hate it? What do you love and hate about it? Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys down the road. Peace.